of the matter, right? In the
Yes,
starting,
sir.
in the starting of this chapter itself, I have given the complete classification of the matter, like physical classification and the chemical classification. So in the chemical classification itself, we have the two types again. One is a pure substance, another one is a mixture. So in the second chapter, we'll deal only about the pure substance here. This chemical properties of the matter is there, right? So about these things we'll discuss in the second chapter, along with the separation techniques. So what is the second chapter name? Is matter around us
Is matter around us pure?
pure? So what is the meaning of pure?
So pure is any substance that has only one type of particles, one type of atoms.
Means again under the pure we have the two different classifications are there. One is the elements, another one
And
is the
compounds.
compounds. But if you take as the element definition, the pure meaning is nothing but having only one type of atom.
Sir,
Yeah.
if you ask question,
If you
we need to raise our hand, right?
yeah, this I will ask
We
you.
need to raise.
You can raise your hands. I will ask you one by one only. For any common questions, you can raise. You can tell directly. No issue in that.
Okay.
Okay. So if you take as an element, what is the definition of the element? Toshnika, what is the definition of the element?
Sir, consisting of two or more pure substances.
Sorry.
Sir, I don't know the definition.
Okay.
Shall I say?
Wait. Shreyan,
Sir,
what is the definition of elements?
sir, elements. I don't exactly say. No, to know. Exact pronunciations I don't know. So that is.
Okay, Vedika.
Elements are made up of only one atom and it cannot be further simplified.
Very good. So element means what? It is made up of only one type of atoms. The simple definition for the element is it is made up of only one type of atoms. If you take any element in the periodic table, like sodium, all the atoms in the sodium are similar type only, right? So group of atoms will form the elements, but that group of atom is similar in the case of elements. So all will have the similar shape, similar size, similar properties in a particular element. All the atoms will have the similar shape, similar size, and similar properties in a particular element. So like this, how many elements are there in the periodic table?
118 elements.
118.
118 elements.
118 elements are there. Okay. Rishikesh,
So if you're writing anything, we're not able to see that.
right now I'm not writing anything, just I'm revising what I have discussed in the starting of this 9th class. Okay. Can you able to see the screen, right?
Yeah, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
That's what I'm sharing now. I'm not writing anything new. Just I'm revising the concepts of old one only. Okay. So
Yes, sir.
Rishikesh,
Yes, sir.
what is the metals? What is the meaning of non-metals and the metalloids?
Sir, a metal is a substance which. Sir, I'm not sure of exact definitions, sir.
Just tell me the properties of metals, non-metals. One or two is enough.
Sir, metals are usually conductive. They're lustrous. They produce a sound when. Sir, they produce a sound. Sir, that's all.
So okay, no problem. Then can you tell me what is the definition of metalloid?
Sir, it is half metal and half something else, sir, I guess.
Of
So
something
can I
else.
say?
Sir, can I tell?
Can I try?
Wait. Just raise your hands. I can call you one by one. That's better. Akshit,
Yes, sir. Sir, metal can be defined as anything which is hard and shiny.
hard and shiny. Very good. The lustrous, you can say as.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What about the metalloid?
Sir, a metalloid is anything, is a substance which has the properties of metals and non-metals.
So metalloid is nothing but the substance which has both the properties of metals and the non-metals.
Non-metals.
So can any one of you tell me the examples of metalloids? How many metalloids are there? First thing? Okay, one by one I will call you.
And
Harini,
antimony, and then like silicon.
Bhargav,
I can
please
say this
stop.
exactly.
Okay. So what is my question?
Sir,
Sir,
about
how many
metalloid
metalloids?
examples.
Metalloids,
Example.
examples of metalloids. Okay.
And how many metalloids are there?
Oh, yeah, that is a question. How many metalloids are there in the periodic table?
Just 6 metalloids.
Is
Sir,
it 6 or
8.
7?
Sir,
Sir,
there
seven.
are
Sir, seven.
It's
Just
completely
7.
it's a 7.
Seven.
7 metalloids are there in the periodic table. Okay, leave about that. Now the elements are classified again into the 3 types. One is the metals, non-metals, and the metalloids. Now again, the pure substance have the another classification that is called as a compound. Quasi, can you tell me the definition of compound? Quasi,
Yes, sir.
can you tell me the definition of compound?
Sir, I don't know the definition of compound.
Okay, no problem. Next,
Sir,
Piyush?
can I? So may I say?
just
Sir,
raise
can I
your
say-
hands. I will call you one by one. I said. Piyush,
Yes, sir.
what is the definition of the compound?
Is a compounds are formed when 2 or more elements are combined in a definite ratio.
Definite ratio. Very good. Aditya,
Yes, sir.
Bhargav, just raise your hands in the Zoom meeting itself. No need to raise complete your hand physically. Aditya, what is the definition of the compound?
Sir, group of atoms are called compounds.
Group of atoms is called as in compounds. Is it exactly same?
No, sir. It can be different.
Then group of atoms is also called as a mixture, right?
Sir, H2O is a compound, right?
Yeah, H2 is a compound, but it is not the exact definition. Like compound is nothing but the group of atoms. Krishna Chaitanya,
Sir, yes. The formation of 2 or more elements causes a compound in a definite ratio.
okay. Next, Aditi, some name is there.
Yes, compound is a substance which is composed of more or 2 different chemical atoms.
Sorry,
Sir,
can you
can I
repeat
say-
again?
A compound is a substance which is made up of 2 or more different chemical substances or
Yeah, somewhat correct, but it's not completely correct. Yeah, last Ananya.
Yes, sir. A compound is anything, any elements which are combined chemically.
Okay.
Should I try?
Sir, can I?
Yeah, Bhargav, we'll give chance to the Bhargav this time.
Sir, when two or more types of atoms are combined chemically, that type of substance is called as a compound.
Okay. Toshnika, fast.
Sir, the difference between a compound and a mixture is that a compound is basically a mixture of 2 or more different types of atoms combined chemically, whereas a mixture is a group of elements combined together physically, and you can separate them through physical means.
Very good. Generally, the definition of the compound is like. Okay, wait. I will give chance to each and everyone. So we'll move the further topics again. I will tell you the definition of compound first. Compound is a substance which contains 2 or more components. These components are present in the definite ratios. These components are present in the definite ratio and combined chemically. These 2 are very important when you say definition for the compound. Compound contains 2 or more components which are present in the definite ratio and combined chemically.
Sir, can you write this definition?
So can you repeat once again?
So I think already have written this one. I will show you. Wait 1 minute, please.
yes, sir.
Yeah, it's there here itself, right?
It contains 2 or more constants, but these constants combined chemically and present in the definite ratio, sir.
Yeah. So compound is a contain 2 or more constants which are combined chemically and present in a definite ratio. That is the definition of the compound. What is the definition of the mixture? again the same, which contains two or more components. They are combined physically and present in any ratio. In the case
Sir,
of mixture, it is in any ratio and combined physically. In the case of compounds, they are present in the definite ratio and combined chemically. This is
sir,
the
I did not understand.
didn't understand.
No, sir.
So
Hello?
shall I explain her?
Who is this? Toshnika?
Yeah, sir.
Yeah.
Okay.
Remaining people, you can read the 5 to 6 points are already there in the table, right? You can read that one.
Okay, so Taiba, basically the difference between a compound and a mixture is that in a compound like H2O, you cannot separate the hydrogen and oxygen molecules apart. But coming to a mixture, such as if you take iron filings and copper sulfate and you mix them together in a bowl, then again you can separate them by physical means, like by hand picking or something. So that's the difference between a compound and a mixture. In mixtures, you can separate them, while compounds, you cannot separate them by using your hand or any physical means.
Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Just you said in the 2x speed, I said in the 1x speed before. I think you understand what is the 2x and 1x.
No, sir.
Yeah?
Yes, the playback.
No, sir, I
speed.
did not understand.
Playback speed. Okay. Simple is, I'll make it the new note and I'll tell you, explain you again. Okay. Don't worry. So remaining people, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
1 minute. And what is the difference between the homogeneous mixture and heterogeneous mixture?
So homogeneous mixture has the same composition throughout the mixture, whereas heterogeneous mixture has different composition throughout the mixture.
Mixture means what? Having two or more components present in any ratio and combined physically. So in the again homogeneous mixture means having the same composition throughout the mixture. Same composition will be there throughout the mixture. In the case of heterogeneous,
So they may be different.
Sir,
Different mixes have different
Different
compositions.
compositions.
composition towards different particles of the mixture.
okay. Can you able to see anything I am writing here?
No, sir. Not.
Yes, sir.
1 minute, please. Something. Wait, 1 minute. Okay. Homogeneous means what? Can you tell me the examples of homogeneous?
Salt solution.
Same
Sugar solution.
composition throughout the mixture. Okay. So examples are what?
Salt solution, sugar solution.
Salt plus water. If you add the salt to the water, the salt will mix completely in the water, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
If you add 1 tablespoon of salt, the salt will mix thoroughly in the water. That is
Yes.
examples of homogeneous. If you sip the top of the water also, it is a homogeneous, sorry, salt water only. If you take the bottom glass of the water also, it is also a salt water only. The percentage of salt will be same in both the cases. Yes or no? That is a homogeneous. What is the meaning of heterogeneous?
Different composition throughout the mixture.
It will have the different compositions. So if you take sand and water, if you add the sand to the water, what will happen? The sand will settle at the bottom of the water, right? Or bottom of the beaker.
Yes, sir.
So this is a different phase. And water will be in the different phase. So heterogeneous, you can say as it will form 2 different phases. Simple. Yes. In the case
Yes,
of
sir.
heterogeneous, we will say it as a forms 2 different phases. In the case of homogeneous, it will form only one phase. So already I have this notes is there in the Google Classroom. You can again go through the starting topics itself. Can you see the difference? Homogeneous here, quasi.
Yes, sir.
So first one is some sugar and water. So it will form the same composition throughout the mixture. That is a homogeneous. In the case of heterogeneous, can you see one jar having the mud? The mud will settle at the bottom of the beaker. So water is a different phase and the mud is in the different phase. So it will have the different composition throughout the mixture. That is called as an heterogeneous. Clear for everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And 1 minute. So there is a exact difference
Sir,
between the
one
compound
doubt.
and yeah.
So in heterogeneous mixtures, is it the different composition throughout the mixture or in certain parts of the mixture?
It will have the different composition throughout the mixture. That is both are same only, right? Certain part of the mixture is different means.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, both are same only, right? Meaning.
No, sir. When it's like a certain part of the mixture, it's like certain part is like only in certain areas of like the mixture. But when it's like what do you say?
Okay, we will take as example as throughout the mixture itself. That's better. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So again, if you have not copied this table in your classwork notes in the starting, just you copy the same table in the second chapter notes. You're writing the running notes, right, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So in the second chapter, matter around us pure, start with the pure substance, that is the elements and compounds. I want you to write the definitions of element, definition of the compounds, what is the difference between the compound and mixture, and what is a homogeneous mixture, what is a heterogeneous mixture. These 5 to 6 topics should be there in your classwork notes in the second chapter. That is a matter around us is pure. Clear now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So remaining all belongs to the first chapter itself.
Sir, once can you show the table once?
Yeah, you can take the screenshot also now itself.
Okay, sir. 1 minute, keep like that.
So, but this table is anyway in the classroom, right?
Yeah, already it's there in the classroom material. If you open the last class material also, it will be there. Because if I'm giving the last class notes also, it will be there complete from starting onwards.
Sir, can you say the definition of element?
Element means it is made up of only one type of atoms. Element definition is simple. Element is made up of only one type of atoms.
Okay, sir.
Then so today we'll start the another chapter, that is a matter around us is pure. So directly we'll start with the chapter from the solution topic. Before topics and all I explained already and revised it also. So the main topic in this second one is a solution. Now tell me what is a solution? Anyone knows solution? Generally, if you take solution, it will have the two components. Sorry.
So, may I say?
Yeah.
So, the solution is a special type of homogeneous mixture composed of two or more substances.
Yeah. So, solution means it will have the two or more components. But if you take as a solution, mostly it will contain only two components. One is a solute, another one is a solvent. Solution which are having only two components, That is, one is solute, another one is a solvent, is called as a binary solution. What is the name?
Binary solution.
Binary solution. Binary solution means which will have two components. One is a solute, another one is a solvent. What is solute then? The components which is present in smaller quantity. The component which is present in the smaller quantity in the given solution solution is called as in solute. What about the solvent now? The component which is present in the smaller quantity or larger quantity?
Larger quantity.
Larger quantity.
Larger quantity is called as in solvent.
So, or else can we write the definition of solvent as solvent is the component in which the solute is being dissolved?
Yeah, we can write like that also. Okay, based upon that, I will tell you one more thing. Now, if you take any solution, the state of the solution will depends upon the solute or solvent.
Solute.
Solvent.
No, sir, solvent.
The state of the solution, whether depends upon the solute or solvent.
Solvent, sir.
Solvent, sir.
Solvent, right? Because solvent is the more in quantity. Yes or no? The state of the solution depends upon. Yeah, Piyush.
Yes, sir. I wanted to ask that, sir. But if we dissolve a lot of, suppose any solute like salt, then it becomes saturated solution and it's changing the state, right?
Okay, you are saying about the adding of salt to the water.
Yes, sir. Excess.
Excess,
Saturated.
okay. But what about the state of the solution? Is it a liquid or solid?
Okay, sir. So you mean state by, okay, understood.
Understanding. The state means the solid or liquid or gas of the solution, I'm saying.
Okay, sir.
So it depends upon the solvent only, right?
Yes, sir.
That is what I'm telling you. Not about the saturation, unsaturation, that we'll discuss, okay? Clear? Up to these three? Binary solution means what? Which will have the two components. One is a solute, another one is a solvent. Solute is a component which is present in the smaller quantity, and solvent is the component which is present in the larger quantity. If you take example like salt to water, what is a solute and what is a solvent in this?
Water solute.
Solvent
Water
is
solvent.
water and
Salt solute.
solute is salt.
What is a solute?
Salt.
Water. Sorry, salt.
Salt is a solute. Solvent is a
Water.
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 Sir, how do we know that salt is solute and water is solvent?
Because salt is present in the smaller quantity, right? Suppose you have taken the glass of water. One glass of water you have taken, but we are adding only 1 tablespoon of salt only, right?
If we add 2 tablespoons, then
If you add 2 tablespoons also, it will be in the liquid format only, right? The water will be more than the salt only, right? Always.
yeah, but it will taste salty.
Yeah, salty only it will taste. Or else if you take like this, 1 bag of salt. Okay. You have taken 1 bag of salt, adding 1 glass of water. Now, which one is a solute and which one is a solvent? Whether the bag of salt is more or 1 glass of water is more.
Bag of salt.
Then bag of salt will become the solvent. Whichever is the more in quantity, that is the solvent.
Okay, sir.
Whichever is the less in quantity, that is the solute. Understanding?
Yes, sir.
If you take the salt to water, the water quantity is more, right, compared to the salt.
Yes.
So salt will be the solute and water will be the solvent.
So one doubt, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, Piyush asked a question, right? Like if it's saturated.
Yeah.
I didn't understand the explanation you gave.
Piyush asked about the
Saturation, sir.
saturation. I asked, right?
Yes,
He
sir.
said, if you add the 1 tablespoon of salt, suppose if you take NaCl salt, okay,
Yes, sir.
if you add 36 grams of NaCl salt to the 100 grams of water, that is a saturation point.
Yes, sir.
If you add excess of more than 36 grams of salt to the water, it will
Then it
become super
becomes.
saturated.
Yes, sir.
But in
Sir,
the
what
case
is
of,
the meaning of saturated?
I'll tell you one by one. That is the next topic will come after this. Okay, it is also topic will come. I will discuss what is that each and every definition. And super saturated solution is also a liquid format only, right? It's not the solid format, right?
Yes, sir. But the quantity of salt will be more, right?
Quantity of the salt is more, but which one is more again? Either the quantity of the water is more or quantity of salt is more.
So quantity of water.
Water will be obviously more. So the solvent is water only, right?
Yes, sir.
Suppose you are taking the 100 grams of water. Okay. Or 100 ml of water. You're adding only 36 grams. Which one is more? Either salt or water?
Water, sir.
Water. If you add 50 also, which one is more?
Still water, sir.
Water, right? The state of the substance will depends upon what now? The water only, right?
Yes, sir.
That is only the state of the solution.
Okay, sir.
Okay, I will give one
Excuse me,
table
sir.
on this also.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, if I take 100 gram of water and put 100 gram of salt in this, so here what is my solute and solvent? 100 gram of water and
We can
100
take
gram.
any one. Either one can as a solute, other one as a solvent. Whichever you want, that one in that case. But it's very, very rare. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Clear these three?
Yes, sir.
So next we'll go to the solution. There are different types of solutions are there. Again, the colloids, suspensions, true solutions, these things. So I'll give the complete classification of this. So first, I'll write in this format. Solution again classified into the 3 types. One is the based upon the particle size.
True solution.
Based on particle size. So again, based on the particle size, one is a homogeneous. Homogeneous mixture. Second one is a heterogeneous mixture. In the homogeneous mixture, we will call this a true solution. Again, a heterogeneous mixture, again 2 types.
Suspension and colloids.
That is a suspension and the
Colloids.
colloids. But how you are classifying all these things? Based upon the particle size only, right?
Yes, sir. And how well it dissolves.
Suspension and the colloids. Now, what is the size of these particles in the true solution? That is 1 angstrom to the 10 angstroms.
Sir, how much is Armstrong?
1 angstrom is equal to 10 power minus 10 meters. It's a very, very small.
Sir, in case of nanometers?
Nanometers, we convert that one. 1 nanometer is equal to
Sir,
10 to the power minus 9?
minus 9 meters. So 10 nanometers only, right? Is it 10
Yeah.
nanometers?
sir,
So what is Armstrong?
Armstrong is
sir,
a unit. Size.
Unit, okay. Okay.
Size of the atom units.
sir,
Means it is very
Very,
small,
very
sir?
small. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
sir,
Quasi.
can you repeat A1?
Sorry. This is called an angstrom. One angstrom is equal to 10 power minus 10 meters. Atom is very, very small. Sorry. atom is very, very small. Suppose if you take the atom now, the size of the atom is generally in the 10 power minus 10 to 10 power minus 15 meters. Can you imagine the size of the atom with this? 10 power minus 10 to 10 power minus 15 meters means it's very, very small. We cannot see with the naked eye also. Understanding? So to measure this, to measure this very, very small sizes, you have the another unit of measurements that is called as an angstroms or nanometers.
So how small substances can we see with the microscope?
Yeah, in the electron microscope, we can see that one.
Okay.
And Piyush, I already explained you, right, that covalent things. We'll discuss it on afterwards.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So true solution is 1 angstrom to the 10 angstroms. But what about the colloidal solutions? The size of the colloidal solution is 10 angstroms to the 100 angstroms. Sorry, 1000 angstroms. And the suspension, the size of the particles are greater than 1000. Then in which case the particle size is more out of these three?
Suspension.
Suspension. The true solution having very, very small size particles, right?
Yes, sir.
Colloidal will have the medium size particles. Suspension will have the larger size particles. So based upon the particle size, the solution is classified into true solution, colloidal solution, and the suspension solutions. Clear?
No, sir.
No. Quasi?
No, sir, I'm not clear.
Can you tell me what is your exact doubt so that I will explain you once again?
Sir, this angstrom.
Angstrom is a unit of measurement. First thing.
Sir, but how do we know that true solution is greater?
Sorry, how to know that one?
True solution is greater than colloidal suspension.
Based upon the experiments, they will determine that one. So we can't determine directly that one. So scientists will do the experiments, right? So based upon that, they will determine the suspensions. And one more thing. If you take the suspension solution now, the particles will settle at the bottom of the test tube, like heterogeneous mixture. Colloidal and the suspension are the heterogeneous mixture, right? So when you make these two solutions, the particles will settle. In the case of suspension, the particles will not settle in the case of colloidals. And angstrom means, see, if you want to measure some length, you will take meters. Yes or no?
Yes.
When the length of some stick is more than, we can see with the naked eye and we can measure now, we can use the meter as a scale. But if you take atom, it's very, very small. We cannot see with the naked eye also. So if we can't see with the naked eye also, how you can take the meter scale and measure that one? Are you understanding?
Yes.
Or else we'll take one more example, like suppose if you want to measure the pencil length, which scale you will take? Either meter scale you will take or centimeter scale you will take?
Centimeter.
Why not meters? Because meter, if you take 1 meter scale, it will be very long, right? We can't measure accurately the length of this pencil. But if you take centimeter scale, we can measure up to the point also. Yes or no?
Yes.
In the same way, we'll measure the size of the atoms in the scale of angstroms. What is this angstrom means? 1 angstrom is equal to 10 power minus 10 meters. Understanding?
Yes, sir.
Then 2, suppose if I say size of the atom is 2 angstroms, then what you will understand 2 into 10 power minus 10 meters, right?
Yes.
Now instead of writing like this, can you write like this also, right? This is also scale only, right? This is the meter scale, but which one is easy to read? Either this one or this one.
2 into 10 raised to minus 10.
For the easy understanding and for the easy calculation purpose, they are taking the angstroms in the they are taking the atomic size in the angstrom scale. Now it is clear.
Yes, sir.
What about the remaining people?
Clear, sir.
Yes, sir.
Clear,
Can you
sir.
scroll a bit down?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
And one more thing, this is a completely different. So this is a first classification of the solution based upon the particle size. So next classification we'll see based upon the type of solvent.
So how many classifications do we have, sir?
So total 3 classifications are there, and based upon
Yes.
again sub classifications are there. So based upon the type of solvent, one is a aqueous solution, another one is a non-aqueous solution. This example is sugar solution. I'll tell you definition of each and everything separately. This example is sulfur in carbon disulfide. So this is the second classification of the solution. And the third one is based upon the amount of solute present in the solution. So as Piyush said, right, saturated, unsaturated, supersaturated, it will come in this classification. The first one is unsaturated. Second one, saturated solution. And the last one is supersaturated solution.
Sir, I cannot hear you.
You can't read it.
No, sir, I cannot hear you. Now I can hear you, sir.
Okay, okay. So done 3 classification of the solution.
Yes, sir.
So can you just scroll up a bit? I mean, to the last point, based on amount of solution. Or... Yes, sir. Sorry. Okay.
Then
Yes, sir.
So 1 minute.
yeah, Piyush.
No, sir. I mean, like, could you please wait 1 minute?
Sorry.
Nothing, sir. I took the screenshot.
So can you please wait for 1 minute?
Okay, okay.
Chandra.
Then
Yes, sir.
Done, sir.
okay. So Modita is a new student.
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sorry. Till now, I didn't interact or didn't open the mouth in the class.
No, sir. I was talking.
Sorry,
Sir, I was talking.
talking. Okay,
Today I was not. Today I didn't talk anything.
but you didn't tell your name till now. That's what I.
Oh, okay, sir.
And Parth Ahuja. Can you unmute yourself, Parth?
Yes, sir.
What about the video? Okay. Finish. So we'll go by the one by one definition. So first we'll start with the based on particle size. So based on particle size, what is the first one?
True solution.
True solution. So what is the true solution? Is a homogeneous mixture or heterogeneous mixture?
Homogeneous.
Homogeneous mixture.
Homogeneous.
It is a homogeneous mixture which contain small particles, right?
Yes, sir.
Which contain very small particles that
So
are
should we-
dissolved in the given solvent. That are
So, sir, do we note this down?
yeah. So can you tell me examples of true solution? Anyone?
Salt solution.
Solution.
Salt in water
Sugar solution.
or sugar in water.
Lemonade.
Lemonade is a different thing. It will come up. Particle size is bigger, right? Lemonade.
Yes, sir.
Iodine tincture. Sir, iodine tincture.
Yeah, tincture of the iodine we can say.
So color water, like if we put food color in the water.
Color water. Okay, if you add small amount of color, now it's no problem. But if you add a large amount of color, now it will become again different thing only.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir, how about H2O?
Sorry,
H2O?
H2O is only water, right?
Yes, sir. So water is a true solution, right?
Yeah, water is a true solution. Adding the salt in water is also true solution only, right?
Yes, sir. Just an example. That's it.
Okay, okay.
Sir, even solvents can be considered as solutions.
Solvent means what? If you are having the two components in the solution, that is a one, it will be a solvent. But water, if you take now, it is only the you can take as a solution also, no problem. What is there in
The
there?
water is a compound, right?
It's a compound only, right? Yeah.
Okay, sir.
If you add something in the water, now it will become the solution. Otherwise, it will become solvent only, normal solvent only.
Okay, sir.
Next one, colloidal. It is important. What is a colloids?
Substances which act like true solutions, but they're not exactly true solutions.
First thing is it is a heterogeneous mixture. Colloid is an heterogeneous mixture. In the case of solution, what is a solute? Another one is a solvent, right? In the colloid also, we have the two different terms. One is the dispersed phase.
And dispersion medium.
Dispersion medium.
Second one is the dispersion medium. So what is this dispersed
This is the
phase?
example, sir. Dispersed phase and
No, that's the
dispersion.
definition of the colloids I'm saying.
Okay, sir.
Like definition of the solution means what? Solute plus solvent, right?
Yes, sir.
Like definition of the colloid means dispersed phase plus dispersion medium. Then what is dispersed phase? It acts like a solute, right?
Yes, sir.
Dispersion medium means like solvent. Same as the solute and the solvent definition only, but they will use different terms here in the colloids. Do you understand the terms?
Sir, can you repeat
Sir,
once?
not exactly. I did not understand fully. Clearly, I did not.
Sir, I was disconnected. Can you explain it again?
Colloidal solution is a heterogeneous solution or heterogeneous mixture, which will have the two components. One is the dispersed phase, another one is the dispersion medium. Same as the solution, which will have the two components like solute and the solvent. Dispersed phase will act as a solute, and dispersion medium will act similar to the solvent. Then what is the meaning of dispersed phase? The substance distributed as a particles. That particles are there, right? The small amount of particles, those are called as a dispersed phase. Dispersion
Some
medium
is
is
like
what?
solute only. Dispersed phase, like exact solute definition, but not solute.
Yeah, it's not solute, but it's similar look at the solute only.
Okay.
So may I ask it out, sir?
Yeah.
Sir, so then if you take salt water, the dispersed phase is the salt and the dispersion medium is the water?
Yeah, similar to like that only, but salt water is a true solution.
Okay, okay.
If you take
So for
milk, very good. If you take milk, right, the fat present inside the milk is the dispersed phase. Whatever the fats will be there inside the milk is there, right? That is a dispersed phase.
Okay.
And the water or the remaining liquid content is the dispersion medium.
Okay, sir.
Understanding? Milk is a colloidal solution, best example.
So, but why is milk considered as a heterogeneous mixture when it has the same composition throughout the
Yeah, it
mixture,
will
right?
also have the same composition throughout the mixture, but if you are adding the emulsifying agents or something else, it will not disperse. That is only the difference between the colloidal and suspension. The particle size is in between, right? The particle size is not small, not completely large, so that it will not separate again.
Sir?
Yeah, Akshit?
Sir, can oil be called as a colloidal solution?
Oil.
Yes, sir. Since
So
it also.
in the oil, what you will take?
Sir, won't there be fat in the oil as well?
So exactly, we can't take the oil as a colloidals, but I will check and tell you, okay?
Sir,
Okay,
but
sir.
one day you told that collide means they move against each other. So milk also move against each other.
Sorry, colloidal I said in the way like Brownian movement. Brownian movement means the particles always in the random motion only, zigzag motion.
So, but milk also move like that.
Yeah, the particles means in the fat molecules will be there inside the milk, right? That is, they are moving only.
We cannot see that, right?
We can't say with the naked eye. Particle size is small only, right? True solution and
Yes.
colloidal solution particles we cannot see with the naked eye.
Okay, sir.
Okay,
So
suspension we can
what
see.
is this? Excuse me, sir. What is dispersion medium in the milk, sir? Once again, can you repeat?
It's like the water content in the milk is there, right?
Yes, sir. Okay.
That is a dispersion medium.
So
Yes,
what's the
sir.
dispersion phase and dispersion medium in a perfume bottle?
In a perfume bottle, it's a common gas, right?
Yes, sir.
When you spray the perfume, what will happen? It forms to gas only, right?
Yes, sir.
So
So you can't take
gas
exactly
and
in that. We are discussing about the solutions. Perfume is a gas, but which is stored in the form of liquid format, right?
Sir, when it is kept in the bottle, it look like liquid.
Liquid
But
only.
when we spread it, so it is not like liquid.
It will come. It will be in the form of gas only. Like
That's
LPG
why
cylinder. LPG cylinder is a gas or liquid?
it's a gas.
It's a gas only.
Petroleum gas.
But when you store it in the cylinder, it will from the form of liquid only. It will be there, right?
Yes, sir.
Clear up to this? Collides.
Yes, sir.
True
Yes,
solution.
sir.
Any doubts?
No doubt, sir.
Sir.